You're listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB. And today we're going to talk about busy. Yes, you heard it first. Busy. Everyone's busy. I'm busy doing this, and I'm busy doing that. And I'm busy, and I'm busy, and I'm busy. And don't you feel that sometimes people just use busy as a status? That if they're telling everyone how busy they are, that their status symbol says that this person is in high demand, I'm time poor, I'm more important than anybody else, so I'm busy and I'm popular and I'm amazing. Unfortunately, busy also leads to issues. Busy leads to people putting on weight, like I did when I was building a company. Busy leads to neglecting your family, which I did when I was building a company. Busy is not good. Having the right amount of work, the right amount of balance for yourself and family is what we call harmony. And we've done other flashcasts in it. But today we're tackling the topic of busy. And how sick and tired do we get of hearing the person who keeps telling us that they're busy? Busy is a choice. Busy is unfortunately used a lot today as a status symbol. Now, again, I'm not going to take away that some people are constantly busy. I'm going to go through a bit of how to identify that, tips and that, but I wanted to discuss the concept of busy. A lot of people say to me, how do you get through so much work in your life? How do you get across so many things? How have you now lost weight, etc., etc.? Well, I can't fit it in 10 minutes, but I want to give you some tips. So a couple of signs to know that your life is truly too busy. Let's start with that. How can you identify that your life truly is too busy, that you're not one of these people using busy as a status, but you actually are a busy person? Well, one, you're always trying to multitask. You're finding that unless you multitask, you just don't get everything done. Two, you're exhausted, that you feel exhausted mentally, physically, you get overwhelmed. For me, it was a time anxiety started to creep in and I had to learn how to deal with that. But you're exhausted, not just physically, but mentally. You're mentally exhausted. That's another sign, right? You need to schedule things many weeks in advance. If somebody's asking you to, and this is personal, professional, and family, not just professional, right? Somebody's asking you out for dinner and the nearest date is 6 weeks away. Well, there's a good chance that your life is too busy. Right? You've got a hard time focusing in the moment. And this is an important one. You constantly are looking at what's next. You're constantly distracted on what you need to do tomorrow or need to do tonight when you're when it's during the day. So when you find it hard to focus on the now, and particularly if you're doing something with your family or you're doing something fun for yourself, if you can't enjoy the moment, but you always find your mind going away to what's next, that's a sign that your life is too busy. Another one is that you never schedule time for you, meaning, and this is something I never did, you don't schedule time for you, right? So I schedule time for me now. I take a Friday off. I leave Friday bare as an overflow day. I work school hours. I'm in at work by 8. I try and finish by 3, So I've put parameters in place to try and take time off. It is important, right? And then another one is that you're feeling guilty a lot of the time. You're feeling guilty that you're not spending enough time with your family or your partner. You're not spending enough time at the gym. Whatever it is, you get this feeling of guilt. And these are 7 signs to understand that your life is too busy. You're not one of these people that we said before that's using it as a status and as a symbol to show how popular you are. You are truly too busy because you're trying to multitask. You're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. You have to schedule things weeks in advance when you shouldn't have to. You can't focus on enjoying the moment right now. You don't leave time for yourself and you're feeling guilty a lot of the time. These are signs to say, yes, I'm too busy and I need to really, really address how I operate. Right? Because you don't want to be caught in the fact that, it's always what's next. So we need to slow it down and take it from me. When business was flying from 2002, I started a company. The focus was there. 2003, I got married. I had to give that some attention. Then it was go, work. 2008, we had our beautiful daughter, Annika. I had to give, some time to family. Then it was go. Then we had a boy in 2010. Yep, I took 6 months to sort of slow down at work. And then 2011 to 2015, it was motor on, go hard. And I put on a lot of weight. I didn't have a very good home life because I was traveling 3 weeks a month. And I was truly too busy. For me, it wasn't a status. All of those 7 things I said before, I had to just stop. And that's when the decision came to sell a company, to work towards a sale, because my life was truly too busy. How do we attack it? Set up personal, professional, and family. We're not looking for balance. We're looking for harmony. How do we address the concept of busy? We need to get 3 pieces of paper, get a piece of paper and label it personal. What are the things that I am too busy for right now. And how do you identify that? What are the things I really want to do, but I don't have the time to schedule? What are the things that get me all overwhelmed because I haven't tackled? Then do that from a family point of view. What are all the things I want to do with my family, which is my children or my parents or my cousins, whatever it is that I haven't been able to do? I want to do them. I know I want to do them, but I haven't been able to do it. Make that list. Then in terms of professional, what is the list of things that you've been wanting to do that you just don't get around to doing, right? Then you need to prioritize. So once you've got that list, you need to prioritize. You need to prioritize what means like, and if it's not a priority, scratch it off the list. If it is a priority, you need to schedule it in. And that's important. The scheduling part is important. But before you schedule, you need to do step one, identify what's making you that you are busy based on those 7 things. The next thing is making a list, personal, professional, and family, on what things are you're not able to get to that you want to and prioritizing them. And then 3, you need to plan. Now, you can't go straight to plan because you won't know what to plan. And you won't know if it's right, and you won't know if you're too busy for it. So you need to make sure that you need to do that, right? Now, quickly, on the flip side, there's some people that say, I'm not busy enough. My mind's going crazy because I don't have enough to do. Well, create a new challenge, pursue and, get a second job or get a hobby, play a sport, learn a new language, find something that gets you out of your comfort zone that takes up your time. But again, map it out. What's missing? Is it personal? Is it professional? Is it family? What is it that's missing? And schedule time to make it happen, right? It starts with a vision. Then it needs to be turned into execution. It's okay to have a vision, but if you don't execute, it doesn't get done. So you need to make sure. So if you're in that case where you're not busy enough or you're finding yourself too much, spare time, then you need to make sure that you get across it, right? But you need to make sure that you're on it. Next part I want to attack is we all get parts in our lives at different times that we are busy, whether it is personal, whether it is professional, whether it is family. And it depends on what stage of life you're in. And how do we tackle that word? When somebody hears that word busy, and a lot of people say busy is a choice, which it is. What's another word that would better describe where we are and what's happening? So I asked a few people this, and some of the words that came back were, I'm occupied. I'm overstretched, and I really like that word overstretched because it's taking accountability of yourself. I've overextended myself, meaning I realize that I'm busy, but you're taking, again, ownership. Overloaded, swamped, snowed under, too much on my plate, not focused right now. These are some great examples. Again, I went out to my network of business people, and these are some of the things that came back that are better ways, more emotionally engaging ways to let people know that you're busy. And I wanted to share that because hopefully it helps people, because there is going to be a time in everyone's life where they are simply busy. And how do we move away from somebody cringing when they heard the word busy? Well, there's some words to use. Hey, I'm overstretched, I'm overextended, I'm overloaded, I'm tied up, I'm snowed under, I'm swamped, etc. These are some ways that really make the concept of tangibility rather than using the words busy. Now, remember that busy creates anxiety. Being overloaded, being exhausted, it increases your stress levels. You need to really make sure you understand that, which then affects your mind. And then we start talking about being in a growth mindset. We talk about tips like meditation. We talk things about clearing your mind, starting the day with breathing, big 5 deep breaths in the belly, planning out your day. We finish the day before we go to sleep with clearing the mind and putting everything to rest. So these are some of the tips. So understanding what busy is a person using busy as a status, or are they truly busy? I've given you 7 ways to identify whether you're too busy. I've given you some ways to get away from the word busy itself so that people can understand and be tangible. And I just hope that people understand that busy can cause anxiety and that you need to be aware of that. At the end of the day, the brain is the engine room and we need to get it right. Till next time, you've been listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB.